So this property is integral minus a to a fx dx is equal to twice integral 0 to a fx dx if fx is an even function. Now what do you mean by even function? Even function means f of minus x must be equal to fx. If this is condition is satisfied, then this integral can be written as this integral. Okay, think in the beginning I had given you one or two examples also in this. Okay, and according to this, if f minus x, that if fx is an odd function, if you see that fx is an odd function, and what is the definition of odd function? The definition is if f minus x is equal to minus fx, then this integral minus a to a, you can directly equate it to 0. Okay, so when the function is an odd function, it becomes really easy because you can directly write the integral to be 0. Okay, so let us see some examples from this. So the first one is, which I would like to take is, let I is equal to integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 sine square theta, sine square theta d theta. Okay, so here if you see the limits are
Okay.
minus a to a, which is pi by 2. So here the value of a is pi by 2. Okay, and the function here is sine square theta. So let's say that if I assume let f theta, because sine square theta, it is a function in theta, I say let f theta is equal to sine square theta. Now let us check whether sine square theta is an even function or not, or an odd function. So what I do here is take f minus theta. What is f minus theta? It is sine square minus theta, right? Which is equal to
Yes, sir.
sine of minus theta whole square, isn't it? Now sine of minus theta, you know, is minus sine theta from negative and associated angles. So minus sine theta
Yes, sir.
whole square. So this is equal to sine square theta. So what you see here is that f minus theta is the same as f theta. So what does this mean? Thus, f theta is what, even or odd? Is
Sir,
an
even.
even function. F theta is an even function. So therefore I can write I is equal to, from this property, if you see if fx is an even function, then what happens? Minus a to a fx dx becomes twice integral 0 to a. Okay, so this, therefore I can write this as, therefore I is equal to integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 sine square theta d theta becomes twice of integral 0 to a, and a is pi by 2, so it becomes 0 to pi by 2 sine square theta d theta. And you know how to evaluate this integral? You have a power of sine, you convert it to multiple angle formula. How do you convert it to multiple angle formula? You take 0 to pi by 2. You know that 2 sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta, right? You take 2 inside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
0 to pi by 2 1 minus cos 2 theta d theta. Okay, now it is easy to evaluate this integral. This is integral 0 to pi by 2 um, d theta minus integral 0 to pi by 2 cos 2 theta d theta. And what is the integral of d theta? It is theta evaluated between the limits 0 to pi by 2. And what is the integral of cos 2 theta? It is sine 2 theta divided by the derivative of 2 theta, which is 2, evaluated between the limits 0 to pi by 2. So this becomes pi by 2 minus 0, and this becomes, you can take half out. This is simply sine 2 theta evaluated between the limit 0 to pi by 2. And this is pi by 2 minus half of sine. First put the upper limit, twice of pi by 2, and then put the lower limit, twice of 0. So this is pi by 2 minus half of sine pi minus sine 0. And what is sine pi? You know that any multiple of if you remember trigonometric functions, I told you that if sine theta is equal to 0, then theta is equal to n pi. So any multiple of pi that you have associated with a sine function, the value is 0. Sine pi is 0, sine 2 pi is 0, sine 3 pi is 0, sine minus pi is 0, right? Sine minus 2 pi is 0.
Yes, sir.
So this will become pi by 2 minus half 0 minus 0, which is simply pi by 2. That is your answer. Okay. Let's see the next problem. Okay. Let us say that let I is equal to integral minus pi by 4 to pi by 4 to plus pi by 4 x cube cos x cube dx. Okay, I can see that this is an odd function. Can you see that this is an odd function?
Yes, sir.
Just by seeing, you can say this is an odd function. So I say let fx is equal to x cube cos x cube. Let us check whether this is an even or odd function. So what I do, I take f of minus x. So f of minus x will be minus x whole cube cos minus x whole cube. So this will be minus x cube cos of minus x cube. So this will be minus x cube cos of minus x is cos x. So this will be cos x whole cube. This is minus x cube cos cube x. Um, oh, this is not cos cube. Sorry, my mistake. This is cos of. There's this. You must be very careful because this is, see, the cos of minus x cube is there, right? So this will become minus x cube, right? Because this cube is only over the angle. This cube is not over the
Yes, sir.
cos, right? So therefore,
Yes, sir. Yes.
this step will also go. So this will become minus x cube cos, and cos minus of any angle is simply that angle plus of that angle. Now what am I getting here? If you see, I'm getting back this. So this means with a minus sign. So minus of fx I'm getting. So I have shown that f of minus x is equal to minus fx. That means, therefore, I can say fx is an odd function.
Okay, sir.
And what happens if fx is an odd function? What happens? You can directly equate to 0 if fx is an odd function. So therefore, you
Yes,
can
sir.
say that
Okay.
this entire integral simply vanishes. Hence, I is equal to integral minus pi by 4 to plus pi by 4 x cube cos x cube dx must be equal to 0 simply. You don't have to do anything. Clear? Or any question?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear or any question?
No, sir.
No, sir. No question.
No, sir. Clear.
Problem. Okay, let us take another problem. That is, let I is equal to integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 cos square theta d theta. Now this is very similar to the first example that I did, except that we had a sine square there. Here we have a cos square. So what I do here is, let us check whether cos square, because I see the limits minus a to plus a. So my first duty will be to check whether the function is an odd or an even function. So I say let f theta is equal to cos square theta. That means f of minus theta will be equal to cos square of minus theta, which is equal to cos of minus theta whole square. This time the square is above the cos, it is not above the angle. Okay, so this is cos theta whole square, which is cos square theta. So what are we getting?
Okay,
F
sir.
minus theta, we are actually getting back f theta, right? So I have shown here that
Yes.
f minus
In
theta
function.
is equal to f theta. That means, therefore, f theta is an even function. Therefore, what can I write this integral as? Therefore, I can write I
Yes, sir.
equal to,
Sir, did you say that?
I said, what can I write this integral as? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 cos square theta d theta. You can write this as twice integral 0 to pi by 2 cos square theta d theta. Now again we will evaluate exactly as we did in the sine square one, the first example. Here I have a
Yes.
square of a cos, so I'll again change it to a multiple angle. You know that 2 cos square theta is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta. So what I do is I take 2 inside, 0 to pi by 2. I can write this as 2 cos square theta d theta. So this is integral 0 to pi by 2 1 plus cos 2 theta d theta, right? Therefore,
Yes,
the
sir.
next step I can write integral 0 to pi by 2. Amir, you are still in the party or what?
Sir, I am in the home back, but there's no noise. But
Hmm.
it's not my home. The where whose wedding was that? I am in that home.
Okay.
So
So you better take note of these later, okay?
okay, sir.
0 to integral d theta is theta evaluated between the limit 0 and pi by 2. Plus, again you have integral of cos 2 theta is sine 2 theta divided by 2. Why? In fact, minus with a minus sign, because integral of, no, integral of cos is plus sign. Sorry, there should not be a minus sign. So integral of cos 2 theta is sine 2 theta divided by a derivative of 2 theta, which is 2, evaluated between the limit 0 to
Yes.
pi by 2. So this is, you will get pi by 2 minus 0 for the first one. And for the second one, you will get sine of, put the upper limit first. Or what you can do is you can take first half out of this. Okay. Plus half of sine 2 theta evaluated between the limit 0 to pi by 2.
Pi by
So
2.
this is pi by 2. Now put the limits, upper limit and the lower limit. Sine of twice pi by 2 minus sine twice 0. Okay, so this is pi by 2 minus half sine pi minus sine 0, which is 0. Sine pi, you know, is 0. As I told you, sine of n pi in fact is 0. Any multiple of pi, any integral multiple of pi taken with sine is 0. So pi by 2 minus half 0 minus 0, which is simply pi by 2. That's your answer. It's very similar to your
Okay, sir.
sine square theta one. Okay. Another problem that came in your ISC this time. Let's take problem. Let I is equal to integral minus pi to plus pi sine to the power of 5x dx. Okay. Again, I see a minus pi to plus pi limit. So I'll check whether this is an even function or an odd function. So I say let fx is equal to sine to the power of 5x dx. Not dx, sorry. So that means this is, let's check whether this is an even or odd function. F minus x is equal to sine to the power of 5 minus x. Which you can write this, if you see power of 5 here is above sine. So I can write this as sine of minus x raised to the power of 5. So this is sine of minus x is minus sine x to the power of 5. And you know that this minus sign, when it is raised to a negative power, minus sign remains. So minus sine to the power of 5 x. So what are we getting? We are actually getting back minus sine. We're getting back sine to the power of 5x, but with a negative sign. This means this is minus of fx. Therefore, this must be an odd function. Therefore, fx is an odd function. And fx is an odd function, then what happens? Can you say what happens?
The whole will be negative. 0.
Yes, integral vanishes completely. Sine to the
Yes,
power
sir.
of 5x dx, you can directly write this as 0 because this is an odd function. Okay.
Yes.
Let us take another problem. Let I is equal to, this time the problem is minus pi to plus pi, 1 minus x square, sin x cos square x dx. Just by seeing, can you tell me whether this is an even function or an odd function?
Sir, it even function.
Yes, sir. It is even function.
Even function?
Yes, sir.
I don't think so. Let's see. It is an odd function. Let fx is equal to 1 minus x square sin x cos square x. That means f minus x will be 1 minus, now replace x by minus x. Okay. Again, replace in your sine, you replace x by minus x. And also in your cos, you replace this by minus x. Then see what happens. What happens? This 1 minus of x square becomes simply x square once again. And sine of minus x, you know, is minus sine x. Right? And this cos of minus cos square minus x can be written as cos of minus x square. So now what happens? This becomes 1 minus x square. This minus sign is there, so you can take a minus sign here. Okay. This becomes sine x, and cos of minus x is simply cos x. So this becomes cos x whole square. So this
Yes,
is
sir. It is
minus of, it is an odd
odd
function.
function. Yes, sir.
Sine x cos square x. Okay, so this we are getting as minus fx. So this shows that fx is an odd function.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, and if it is an odd function, then what happens? The integral simply vanishes. Therefore, fx
Vanishes.
is an odd function. Hence, I can say I is equal to integral minus pi to plus pi 1 minus x square sin x cos square x dx must be equal to 0. That's it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Take one more problem. Let I is equal to integral minus 1 to plus 1 log 2 minus x divided by 2 plus x dx. This is a very interesting problem because till now we have done only with trigonometric functions. Let us now check with logarithmic functions, and later I will show you an exponential function also and a mod function
Okay,
also. Okay, so let's see. Again, you see limit minus 1 to plus 1. So here a is 1 clearly. So let's take fx. Let's check whether this is an even or odd function. Let fx is equal to log 2 minus x by 2 plus x. So in order to check, let's take f minus x. F minus x is equal to log. In this, what happens? You simply replace x by minus x. Right? This should be f minus x.
Yes, sir.
And this will be log 2 plus x by 2 minus x.
2 minus x.
Now what happens? But you see here, you have 2 minus x in the numerator. Here you have
Yes, sir.
2 minus x in the
Denominator.
denominator. Okay, so what
Yes, sir.
will I do? I will take 2 minus x in the numerator. How? What I will do is I will write this as log of 1 by 2 minus x by 2 plus x. Okay, so I have taken 2 minus x in the numerator. Now this is log
Yes.
m by n, which can be written as log m minus log n. Right? You can write
Yes,
this
sir.
way. You know log 1 is 0. So this simply
Yes, sir.
becomes 0 minus log 2 minus x by 2 plus x. So this simply becomes minus log 2 minus x by 2 plus x, right? So what are we getting? We are getting
Yes.
back fx, but with a negative sign. So that means this is minus of
Yes, sir.
fx. So what does it show?
The
It
integral
shows that
vanishes.
fx is an odd function.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, fx is an odd function. In case of an odd function, what happens?
Sir, the integral vanishes.
Vanishes. Hence, you can write, hence I is equal to integral minus 1 to plus 1 log 2 minus x by 2 plus x dx is equal to 0 simply. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Another problem, this time a mod function. Mod function coupled with a trigonometric function. So let's see what happens. Problem is, evaluate this integral. Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Now, whenever there is a mod function, you need to be a little careful. Okay. Again, minus a to plus a. Right? So again, we need to check whether this is an even function or an odd function. So I say let fx is equal to mod sin x. Right? That
Okay,
means
sir.
what is f minus
Yes.
x? F minus x is, be a little careful, do it step by step, sine of minus x. Okay? And this is sine of minus x, you know, is minus sin x. Right? And mod of minus sin x is simply mod of a negative number will be simply sin x. Right? So that means what is this?
Yes,
This
sir.
is equal to this is equal to whether you not this, whether you write mod of minus sin x or whether you write mod sin x, it is the same, right? Because modulus, what it does, it makes everything positive, right? So this is equal to fx, right? So what does it show? It simply shows
Yes.
that fx is an even function.
Yes.
And what happens when fx is an even function? This minus
That's
pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 mod sin x dx. Amir, you can mute your mic, okay?
okay, sir.
Becomes twice integral 0 to pi by 2, right? 0 to pi by 2 what of fx, and what is fx? Mod sin x
Yes.
dx. Now see, 0 to pi by 2, this is your all, right? This is from 0 to pi by 2. All trigonometric functions between 0 to pi by 2 is positive. So whether I take mod or I don't take mod, it is the same thing. That means I can remove the mod here because the limits are 0 to pi by 2, right? So I've removed the mod because in this quadrant, all the trigonometric functions are positive. The limit was 0 to pi by 2. That's why. Understood? Even if the limit was 0 to pi, Would we be able to remove the limit? Let me give,
No, sir.
let me pose a question here. Note. Suppose if I give you integral, note number 1, 0 to pi mod sin x, then what will you do? Okay, now if you see, this is 0 to pi, right? Sine is positive here,
Yes, sir.
and all trigonometric functions are
Yes,
positive
sir.
here. So right from 0 to pi, or sine is positive, that means again we will be able to remove this. That means 0 to pi, I can write simply sin x dx. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now if what's my second question is, suppose if I give you integral 0 to 2 pi, then what will happen? Mod sin x. Then what will happen? See, in this case, what will happen is first you will take the positive one. From 0 to pi, it is positive. So I'll take the limit 0 to pi first. 0 to pi mod sin x, right? Next, what I'll do, in both these, sine is negative, right? From
Yes, sir.
pi to 3 pi by 2, sine is negative. Also from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, sine is negative. So then my next limit will be from pi to 2 pi mod sin x. Next step should be what? Integral 0 to pi mod sin x will be simply sin x, because sine is positive from 0 to pi. And in the next step, what will happen? From pi to 2 pi, sine is negative. So we'll take clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now my next question is, what will happen if you have a cos function? If I give you 0 to 2 pi mod cos x, then what will happen? Interesting.
Cos.
See, cos is positive here, right? And
Yes,
this is
sir.
what? From 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, right?
Hmm.
And cos is also
Yes, sir.
positive here. That is 0 to pi by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
And cos is negative here, which means from pi by 2 to pi, cos is negative. And from pi by, sorry, this is, yes, pi by 2 to pi. And this is pi to 3 pi by 2. Cos is negative. So cos is negative here and cos is negative here. So what I'll do is, I'll take my limits. First limit I'll take from 0 to pi by 2. Because cos is positive here, mod cos x dx. Right? Next, what I'll do is, I'll take the limit from, see, cos is negative here and cos is negative here. So my next limit will be from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. Understood? From pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 directly, this entire part. Clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And the last one will be from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi mod cos x. And what will happen in the next step? In the next step, 0 to pi by 2 cos x is positive. So you simply write cos x dx. Right? And here pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. This is negative cos here. So we'll write minus cos x dx. And here what will happen? Again, cos is positive. So this means 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. Okay, cos x dx. Clear with this? Similarly, you can proceed with tan also. Okay, each
Yes, sir.
quadrant, you break up each quadrant. Okay, I have done 3. You can take this also. You can, in fact, this integral, the single integral that I have taken from pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, this also you can break. What you can do is you can take the limit from pi to pi by 2 to pi. One integral you can take, and then you can take from pi to 3 pi by 2. Understood? Each quadrant you can take separately. Clear?
Okay, sir.
So you can do this for tan also. Okay. Anyway, coming back to the problem. My problem here was this integral 0 to pi by 2 sin x. Now this becomes very easy. What is the integral of sin x? It is minus cos x. Evaluated between 0 to pi by 2. Okay. Now what I do is, in order to remove the negative sign, I simply write this as cos x. I have removed the negative sign. Then what will happen? I will have to interchange the limits also. Now the lower limit will become pi by 2. The upper limit will become 0 because I have removed the negative sign. So this is cos 0 minus cos pi by 2, which is 1 minus 0, which is 1 simply. Clear? Or any question?
No, sir, clear. Yes,
Let
sir.
us move on to the next problem.
Yes.
Last problem for this property. Question is, let I evaluate this integral minus 1 to 1 e to the power of mod x dx. Exponential function combined with a modulus function. Okay, again I see a limit minus 1 to plus 1, minus a to a. A here is 1. So I say let fx is equal to e to the power of mod x. So I check whether this is an even function or odd function. I take f minus x e to the power of, right? Clear? Now
Yes, sir.
minus mod x. Now what happens? You know from the property of modulus that minus mod x is equal to x if x is less than 0, right or not? If x is negative, then minus x becomes positive, right? Is equal to minus x if x is
Yes, sir.
greater than 0, right? You know this, isn't it? So you can write this as is equal to
Yes,
e
sir.
to the power of, you can write this as e to the power of x if x is less than 0
Yes, sir.
is equal to e to the power of minus x if x is greater than 0, right?
Greater than 0.
Now what will
Yes.
happen? What can I say? Whether e to the power of x or e to the power of minus x, exponential
So 1 minute,
function,
I'm rejoining again.
what is the value of e? Do you know? Do you know what is the approximate value of e?
No, sir.
Approximate value of e is 2.732. Okay, or 2.73.
2.732.
2.73. Okay, you can note this. Approximate value of e to the power of x for whatever value of x will always be approximately be equal to, it is an irrational number, it will be approximately be equal to 2.73. Understood? So
Okay,
whether
sir.
e to the power of x or e to the power of minus x, both will be positive. So I can write this as simply e to the power of, uh, I can write this simply e to the power of x, whatever be the value of x, positive or negative, right? Can I write or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It will be positive. That means f of minus x will be equal to, we are getting back fx.
F of x.
So therefore, what can I say? We can say that fx is an even function. Therefore, fx is an even function. Therefore, what will I become? I will be equal to integral minus 1 to plus 1 e to the power of mod x dx. I can simply write this as twice of integral 0 to 1 e to the power of x because it is an even function. Twice of what integral e to the power of x, you know, is simply e to the power of x evaluated between the limits 0 to 1, which is equal to twice e to the power of 1 minus e to the power of 0. E to the power of 0 is 1. So twice e minus 1. That's it. Now e to the power of x is equal to 2.73, remember, where x is not equal to 0. Understood? It can take any real number.
Okay, sir.
So this x has to be non-zero for the value to be 2.73. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So that's it for this property. Let us move on to the next property. And the last property. Application of applications of integral a to b fx dx is equal to integral a to b f a plus b minus x dx. Application of this is the last standard integral that I mentioned about, if you remember, when I was giving the properties. So let us see one application. There are not many applications of this, but let us see one application, one trigonometric and one algebraic I'll take. Okay, so let us see problem. First problem here is evaluate this integral. Minus pi by 6 to pi by 3 root dx by root tan x. Now this property is very similar to one property. Can you recall that property? Can you recall that property? Do you remember this property? I told you will definitely get one sum from this property.
Which one, sir?
This one. Do you recall this property?
Proper root over of sin x.
This one, this
Yes,
property.
yes,
Look
sir.
at this property. This property is very similar to this property, except that I have the lower limit as a and I have the upper limit as b. Understood? Here the limits were what? 0 to a, right? But here the limits are, in this last property, a to b are the limits. And here, instead of a, you have a plus b, right? That is the only difference between these two properties. Understood? So it is very similar to this
Yes,
property.
sir.
So in this case, see what I had done. What I had done in this property is that I had taken the limits were 0 to pi by 2. And in this case, what did I do? In the first step, what did I do? I took pi by 2 minus x, because this was a and this was 0, right? But here, in this sum that I am giving you, see what is the difference? Here if you see here, the upper limit was pi by 2, the lower limit was 0. And in this case, the upper limit is b and the lower limit is, instead of 0, it is a. Clear?
A.
So
Yes, sir.
that is the difference between that property and this property, although that property is more important than this property. Okay, so let us evaluate now. Even here, if you see, you have this is your a and this is your b. So if you now look at this property, you convert tan to sine and cos first. So pi by 6, you keep the limits as it is, pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx by root over 1 plus not, and this is not entire root, sorry.
Sir, the whole thing was not under root
Yes,
over.
yes, my mistake. So dx by 1 plus, convert this to sine root sine x by cos x, right?
Yes,
So this
sir.
is integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx by 1 plus root sine x by root cos x, right? In the next step, you take the LCM. just as we had done in the earlier problem also. Pi by 6 to pi by 3. Let us take the LCM in the denominator. If I take the LCM in the denominator, this becomes root cos x plus root sin x whole divided by root cos x. Now I can take root cos x in the numerator. I have not used the property yet. Okay. I'm
Okay, sir.
simply taking the LCM, simplifying this. Root cos x by root cos x plus root sin x dx. Now we shall use the property. So the property was integral. Look at the property here. A to b. This a plus b comes here, and the limits remain a to b. So what I'll do, I'll take the integral. I'll take the limits as the same. Pi by 6 to pi by 3 root cos pi by 3 a plus b, right?
Yes, sir.
Pi by 3 plus pi by 6 plus x divided by root cos pi by 3 plus pi by 6 plus x, right? And you have a plus root over of sine also. Sine pi by 3 plus pi by 6 plus x, right? Dx. Let us now see the next step. You add up pi by 6 plus pi by 3. What is pi by 6 plus pi by 3? It is pi by 2. Pi by 6 to pi by 3. Root cos pi by 6, pi by 3 plus pi by 6 is simply pi by 2, right?
70.
1/3 plus 1/6
Yes.
is half, right?
Yes, sir.
Plus x divided by root. Similarly here you have pi by 2 plus x plus root sine pi by 2 plus x dx. So again you have integral pi by 6 to pi by 3. Now cos pi by 2 plus x is sin x, right? So this becomes root sin x. And here again this becomes root sin x plus root cos x. So now what should be the next step? See that I have got I is equal to this, and I is also equal to, where is it gone? I is also equal to this, right? So very similarly as we had done
Yes.
in that property, what we are doing, we are adding the two integrals. Therefore I plus I will be equal to, first you write this one, right? So you write integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 root cos x divided by root cos x plus root sin x dx. Also now you write this integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 root sin x divided by root sin x plus root cos x dx. Now you add up the two integrals, which is equal to integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 root cos x plus root sin x divided by root sin x. You combine the two integrals plus root cos x dx. So what happens? This integral and this numerator and this denominator, they cancel each other. So you simply get integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx, which is nothing but x evaluated between the limits pi by 6 to pi by 3. Now you take the upper limit pi by 3 and you take the lower limit, right? And pi by 6 minus pi by 3 minus pi by 6 is, if you take the LCM, it is 2 pi minus pi by 6, which is simply pi by 6. That's your answer. Not the answer, in fact. This is I plus I, sorry. So therefore, what is 2i? 2i is equal to pi by 6. Therefore, I here is pi by 12. That means the given integral pi by 6 to pi by 3 dx by 1 plus root tan x must be equal to pi by 12. That is your answer. Clear? Or any question? Yes, both of you are there or lost?
I am there listening you.
Next, problem for this property and the last problem of this chapter also. Integral 2 to 5 root x divided by root x plus root 7 minus x dx. This time, in fact, this is the same integral, except that we don't have a trigonometric function here. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what you do here is, this you can treat it as a practice problem also. What you do here is 2 to 5 root over of, you remember the property is a plus b minus x, right? So what you do is, a is here is 2,
Yes, sir.
b here is 5 minus x, right? Divided by root over of a plus b minus x, that means 2 plus 5 minus x, right? Plus root over of 7 minus a plus b minus x. See whether you understood this step or not. Check with the property. Property is above actually.
Yes, understand.
What I have done is, I have replaced x by a plus b minus x. Okay, see, if you see in this property, x here, if you see, x here is replaced by a plus b minus x, right? So similarly, if you see here, all the x's here, this x I have replaced by a plus b minus x. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
This x again, I have replaced by a plus b minus x. And this x here also I have replaced by a plus b minus x. Understood? This is the main
Yes.
step. So this is 2 to 5 root over of 7 minus x divided by root over of 7 minus x plus root over of, if you see, 7 minus 7 plus x, right? So this simply becomes x, because 7 and
Sir,
7
plus X.
cancel.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you see that I was equal to what? I was equal to this integral, and I is also equal to this integral. So now we can add up the two integrals.
Yes, sir.
So let's add. So therefore, I plus I is equal to integral 2 to 5 root x by root x plus root 7 minus x dx plus integral 2 to 5 root 7 minus x divided by root x plus root 7 minus x. Okay, now combine the two integrals, just as we had done in the last problem. If you combine the two integral, it becomes 2 to 5 root x plus root 7 minus x. divided by root x plus root 7 minus x dx. Okay, so now what happens? The numerator and denominator are going to cancel. You simply get integral 2 to 5 dx, which is x between the limits 2 to 5, which is simply 5 minus 2, which is 3. Clear with this? Or any
Yes, sir.
question? So this was the
No, sir.
last
No
problem.
question.
This was the last problem from your this chapter. So definite integral actually is over. What I want to start is probability, but let me just stop here.